This is the story of Hypothalamus Hayley and her adventures. It begins like all fabulous stories with once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Hypothalamus Hayley. Hypothalamus Hayley came upon sympathetic Sybil, who seemed kind of nice at first, but who became angered easily, especially when she was with her friend, Amygdala Amy, who was always so moody. Sympathetic Sybil and Amygdala Amy would start to fight and yell, which made Hayley's heart start beating faster and cause her pupils to dilate. She could feel the blood rising in her cheeks, and the bagel she had eaten earlier seemed to just sit like a rock in her stomach. She decided to make a run for it. Sympathetic Sybil and Amygdala Amy were just too much drama for her. She took off down the street and ran straight into a pair of the nicest guys, parasympathetic Paul and parasympathetic Patrick. Parasympathetic Paul and parasympathetic Patrick immediately made her feel more at ease. Hayley's heart rate went back to normal. She started breathing slower, and even her digestive system felt like it was back to working again. Though the guys were really chill, Hayley became restless and felt the need to move on. Hayley made her way into the local diner and met the owner, Foodie Fran. Foodie Fran was cool, but all she ever wanted to do was talk about food, which is why I think people called her Foodie Fran. Fran introduced Hayley to her twin sisters, but they looked nothing alike. It seemed like lateral Lisa was always hungry, and no matter how much she ate, her appetite was always on. However, her twin, ventromedial Vanessa, seemed completely disinterested in food. In fact, it seemed like food was a complete turn off to her. Hayley soon became bored with the girls and their food issues and decided to leave. The night was late and she was getting cold. She went to a local shelter where she met Fahrenheit Frankie, who gave her a jacket. But Fahrenheit Frankie himself ran really hot and cold. He kept trying to give her blankets and then giving her fans, so she had to move on. Further down the road, there was an amusement park Hayley had always wanted to check out. When she got in line for the Ferris wheel, she locked eyes with the cutest guy she had ever met. He walked over to her and introduced himself as Fun Fred. Instead of being afraid, which is what most people would be upon meeting a complete stranger in an amusement park named Fun Fred, Hayley was smitten. They rode the Ferris wheel together and then lived happily ever after. The moral of the story, boys and girls, is that Hypothalamus Hayley realized that everything she ever needed was already inside of her. Why? Because she's Hypothalamus Hayley, of course. And the best part is that everything you need to be happy is already inside of you, too. The end. And this has been a production of
Riley, Amy, and Julie.
Thank you. Yay!